What's up, guys? It's your girl Kia, and I am pretty sure that this is just going to be a vent session for me, which is different than a lot of the videos that I make and that I do. But today kind of just rubbed me the wrong way when I was out and about with my kids, and nothing like bad happened. There's no racism. I know that's what people might be expecting this video to be about, but I am starting to realize, or I'm already there, that I am the only black mom at most of the things I take my kids to. It is just me. And sometimes that makes me really, really sad. Sometimes it is extremely isolating. Sometimes it's scary. And not in a danger scary way, but in more like I'm worried I'm going to say the wrong thing kind of way, or it's just very, very weird sometimes. And I don't think I live in a majority white city. I don't think I do. Like, the population is very white. It's very white. But there are black women in other spaces. For example, I belong to Burn Boot Camp that I go to on a regular basis, and there are black women there. Like, if I need a black woman fix, they're at Burn Boot Camp. People never say that black women don't work out, because at Burn, the ones who are going the hardest are the black women, and it's great. That's fantastic. It's great being there. But when I'm out among the mom groups that I'm in, it is always just me. So what triggered it today to have me feeling this way was that there was a magic show, and it was at 11 o'clock in the morning. It is a magic show for kids. So you bring your kids there to the local city hall. I bring my kids there. I am in a room full of people, and I'm the only black mom there. I know some people are thinking, well, people work. Yes, people work. But every other woman, all the women in there were white. So am I in a space where black women aren't stay-at-home moms? They can't be stay-at-home moms. I mean, technically, I am not a stay-at-home mom. I'm an independent contractor, so I can make my own schedule, which is great. And no, I'm not like some weird entrepreneur. I'm not on some MLM. I work for a really big ad agency, but they hire independent contractors. And I've been with the same agency for 6 years. If you watch my channel, you know that I am in the franchising space. I have been doing this for 6.5 years, and because of how well I do it, I am able to make my own schedule, which is truly a blessing. I'm happy about that, because I am maybe able to be with my kids. But when I go places like the magic show, it always just makes me feel lonely, and I don't know. It's a weird feeling, and it happens all the time. The magic show is not the only space where I feel like that. My kids also go to toddler time, which is like a bounce time for the kids that happens at a local bounce place. And I am one of two black moms that comes there. And actually, no, one of three. I'm one of three black moms there. And the other two moms don't even go on a consistent basis. I happen to go every Thursday. And they're there, which is great. When I take my kids to the splash pad, even on the weekends, it's just me. When I take my kids to the museum, a lot of the time, 90% of the time, it's just me. I'm the only black mom in these spaces. I'm actually getting overwhelmed thinking about it. I'm not even gonna lie. And it's just very odd to me, because I know there are a lot of black mothers out there. Am I just doing things in white spaces and not doing enough brown kid stuff, and that's why it's just me? Again, if you watch my channel, my husband is not black. My husband is not white. My husband is Indian. And a lot of the kids who are, in the Indian spaces, they don't live near us. Because the Indian Guyanese community is very tight knit. The younger ones, the people who have younger kids don't live near, who are our kids' age group, don't live near us. They live in another part of town. People who live near us, their kid is either a lot older than our kids, or like babies. Like my husband's best friend, they have a baby. My kids are 3 years old, and their oldest is 18. So it's like a weird gap, and we just don't have that community here. So it's just me, and again, like I keep saying, it's very lonely, and it's very weird when you want to see someone who looks like you. And I've been in this situation. Well, no, I've been in this city with my husband for the past 6 years. Excuse me. Don't tell him I said that. I've been married. I've been with him for 9 years. we we've been married for 6 years. 7 years actually. Like 7 years in August, and we are well aware that we live in a city that is majority white, but we usually see a lot of Guyanese people. There are a couple of black people here and there that I see. But when it comes to these mom spaces, it's just me. And sometimes when you want to be black and you have to kind of check your kids, you're getting these side eyes from people about how you're talking to your kids or how you're checking your kids. And, it's always weird for me when white parents are wanting to coddle, my oldest, because my oldest has special needs again. If you watch the channel, I'm like, why are you coddling him? He's begging for attention. Don't. And they look at me like I'm some monster mom. I don't know if that's a black thing or if that's just I don't know. And then I don't like it when some of the women, the white women, are looking at my kids like they're aggressive, For example, and I'm not one of these black people who are out here on social media feeling like racism all over the place or stereotype. But there was a real instance that happened. My son, he's a boy. All boys are exactly the same. There's no difference. Color boys are exactly the same. And there were these little girls that were bouncing with him. And he was trying to grab one of their shirt to get the little girl to play with her. That's how he plays with his little sister. I immediately stopped and said, you cannot pull on her. She is not like your sister. And he said, okay. And he went up to the little girls and said that he was sorry. And then he tried to nicely get the little girl to play with him. And the little girl actually pushed my son away and continued to kind of be weird and nasty. And her mom just stood there, didn't say, oh, no, don't do that, whatever. She just stood there and watched. And after my son trying so hard to apologize, he's 3, trying to apologize and get these little girls to play with him. I finally went and grabbed him and said, let's go play with nice little kids and let's go be friends with somebody else. And I picked him up and moved him away. And that was that. It just made me feel weird. And again, this is not there was no racism thing involved. It's just he was looked at like he was aggressive or something. Like he was going to shove the kid down or not just a boy being a boy in a bounce fun situation. And that made me feel bad and that made me feel sad. Could I be sensitive? Probably. Am I overreacting? No, because every mom has the right to feel how they feel about how their kids are treated. And self-consciously, I'm always trying to make sure my kids are well behaved in these spaces. Which you can't control how a 3-year-old acts. But when I see them being loud or bouncing too much or dancing or at weird times or not listening, it always makes me go, oh my God, these parents are going to think that my brown kids, the only brown kids here are those type of kids. And that's not the people saying anything. That's me. I have put that on myself for some crazy, stupid reason that I can't really explain. And I don't know. It's just a weird feeling, again, being the only black mom in these rooms. Everywhere when I take my kids out, especially during the week. On the weekends, not so, well, no, that's not true. It is true. When I take my kids to the park in our area, they're usually the only brown kids and I'm the only black mom. Don't get me wrong, there are brown kids around. There's a lot of brown kids, and I'm not saying, today was 2 black kids there. They were in the summer camp that came to the magic show. But there are brown children. But you all know what happens. The kids are brown and the mom is white. So my kids will sometimes gravitate towards the kids who look like them because all of their skin tones tend to look about the same. So they gravitate towards those kids. But as far as a black woman being there, a lot of the times she's not there. It is a white mom, brown children, black dad, and me. And I think another thing, I'm just going to keep venting, that sometimes I feel sad about, and it's how I have no control over this, neither does my husband, is that there's sometimes, like on Saturdays when my husband has to work, because it only happens once in a while. When he has to work, I am not going to keep the kids in the house all day. That's dumb. So I take the kids out and about to their favorite play place, the Children's Museum. And we are there. And sometimes I get the weird, even though I'm wearing a wedding ring, people tend to look at me like a single mom. And that's not even me being paired. It really does happen. People do look at me like I'm a single mom. And I don't care. But I just feel bad sometimes because you got the brown kids, white mom, black dad. And then me over here with my 3 kids by myself. even though the only reason why I'm there by myself is because my husband's at work for the one Saturday. Like, you know, so we go to places where they can be entertained for a long period of time. So it could just be insecurities. It could just be paranoia. I really want people to let me know if I'm tripping, if they have experienced the same situation in their area. And if there are Black moms in the Orlando area, hey, hit me up. I don't mind driving. I don't mind driving from my small city all the way to here, just so, you know, I can have my kids be around other kids who look like them, so I can, you know, talk to other moms who look like me. Yeah. So there. That was my rant for the day. Back to work I go, and I will see you guys in the next video.